Hello, Ding Junhui is one of the sport's most important global ambassadors. His 14 ranking titles and Masters triumph has helped inspire a generation not only of players but of fans back home in China. He took a little while to warm up to the early starts in Sheffield, but when he did, the results were spectacular. Over the years, he's enjoyed some superb victories, and in 2016, it felt as though an entire nation was accompanying him from afar on his historic run to a maiden World Championship final. This is how the Chinese Dragon has roared in Sheffield over the last decade or so.
Nice pot. Is he on the black?
One.
Well, he is, but he's too straight. Now, unless there's a red available, he's going to struggle to be on anything after the black. Is there a red available? I don't think the cannon's on. Well, he thinks there's one to the left middle.
8.
If he's on it, he's played a nice positional shot there. Now he's playing the plant. And he's got it. Good shot. First time, really, he's had his hand on the table for about 4 frames. What can he make of this chance?
Into the bunch again.
16. 17.
And by doing so has created a frame-winning opportunity.
Twenty-four. 25. 32. 33. 40. 41.
Every credit to Ding Junhui. He's taken these very nicely so far. There's a lot of pressure on him, as you can imagine. I mean, he's been sat out really for the first 5 frames.
$48.
Well, he's a choice of reds. I think he played for the one just to the left of the 3 in the middle of the table. He didn't play for this one.
49.
But he's played that nicely. Interesting to see where the pink goes after it's potted. Be handy for Ding if it wouldn't go on its own spot, went on the blue spot. Well, that's the case. 24 points
55.
in front. You'd be amazed if he didn't win the frame now at this visit.
56.
Oh, he's short of pace for the pink, so he's made it difficult for himself.
a kick may have been responsible. Oh, it was. Nicely rescued. Stunning right-hand side.
62.
Bringing the cue ball off 2 cushions.
$63.
.38 ahead, 35
69.
remaining, but they won't be for long because this red is a sitter. And a good performance this from Ding Junhui. After what's happened in the first 5 frames, to get this opportunity and take it as accomplished as he has. Very well played. So as I said at the end of the last frame, Clive, Ronnie knows that this young man, if he gets chances, is still a dangerous
78.
opponent. So there's 3 more frames after this. Very big frames, I would have suggested.
81.
Can Ronnie keep his lead, or can Ding Junhui get right back in this match?
$85.
Well, it's always easier when the frame's in the bag, but by any standards, that was a very good shot.
96. $103 in the frame.
Ding Junhui's 92nd century in professional competition. The clearance at 103 gets him off the mark.
You know, he is loved, and it would be nice for their point of view if he could play well here. It's one thing to say that he feels the pressure. Well, maybe he does, but you know, he wouldn't be alone in that. Everyone feels the pressure. I know he's got a lot of expectation on his shoulders in China and worldwide, but pressure is what this game is all about, and he's no different to anybody else. Has to cope with it.
All players have their supporters, some more than others. I think Ding has got more support than anyone else numerically. I think the British equivalent would be Jimmy White over the years.
Yep. And of course, he's been in 6 finals here, and maybe the pressure got to him with all that hope. That's a really, really well-played shot. That's a beauty. Ding is one of the best pack splitters I've seen. And look at this shot. It's such a well-played shot. I think the important thing to say, my last point on that, Phil, would be you're on your own when you're out there, OK? That's it. Whether you feel pressure or not, there's nothing anyone can do to change what's going on that table between you and your opponent.
9.
And you know, Ding has won tournaments in China, where of course he's loved and adored even more. A lot more people get to see him there. So he's going to have to soak up the pressure if he's to become world champion.
16.
Well, he's done everything but, hasn't he? And I think this statistic illustrates just how phenomenal a player he's been. He's won 11 world ranking titles. That's as many as Mark Selby and Shaun Murphy combined.
A prolific trophy winner, including 5 last season. He's also made 5 147 breaks in his career.
24.
Bit early to say that he's going to add to that here, because he's got 3 red blacks, and whoever on the graphics from a host broadcaster is already getting quite excited. But for now, Ding needs to be getting another frame back. That's his priority.
By the way, the second frame on the other table is about to break off, with Ryan Day now 1-0 ahead.
25. Yep.
Nice cannon that. He knew it was quite a thick cannon on the red, so he hit it more firmly to get the cue ball across towards the black, and he did it well. I've just made it.
I made this point when I was working with Joe Johnson yesterday, Neil. I think the top corner pockets have been far jaw friendly. They're going in off that far jaw undoubtedly.
Yeah, not so much off the near jaw, and just to remind you, the point you've made, and we've said that the cushions were redone overnight, would suggest they might slide in a little bit this morning as well, because when the cushions are changed, there's a bit more sheen on them, and they a bit more slippery. They just go in better off the jaw. They're not easy pockets, that's for sure. And down the cushion rail, they will rattle if you play them at too much speed, and they're not pinpoint accurate.
I'll tell you what though, Neil, we must say now here, the graphic reminds us, a 147 is not an impossibility.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, for the moment, he just has to get past the point of no return in the frame. That is just something that would be a bonus. And the reason I say that, I recall the UK Championship first session one year. I was commentating, played John Higgins. Ding made a 147, lost the session 7-1. So they only win a frame.
41.
Yes, and before, when you made a 147 at the Crucible, you received a fortune. £147,000 was the prize. Now, not so. 20,000 if you make a 147 here this year.
That's a lovely shot, though, and he's got some options here, and
48.
things are really taking shape. Now that's okay. There was always the chance that he mightn't get perfectly on one of these two reds to hold 56. For the black, but I think he's got so far with this, he probably needs to keep going now. He would calculate that he could get 3 more red blacks without taking any undue risk.
$57.
British players have had the monopoly on 147 breaks at the Crucible after Canada's Cliff Thorburn made the first 32 years ago.
Well, he's just playing on the loose red all the time, and it's always difficult because you've always got to finish top side, and so far this break has been immaculate.
$65.
Key shot coming up. There are reds that pot to the opposite corner pocket, but again, he's got to make sure this cue ball travels up the table. He doesn't want to finish short so that he doesn't have the shot to get on the black. So he's going top spin, he's swinging the cue ball across the table, but he's got to bounce it off the cushion subconsciously here. And goodness, he's done that all right. That may look like he's gone too far, but that's better than finishing short and having no way of getting back onto the black. So this is frame ball. That's the first thing out of the way. Once he knocks this in, he can really concentrate on a big break.
73.
Now, just having a look at the state of the reds that remain. One to the left middle here. He might just screw back and leave himself on that one. Don't see him taking any other shot. And his cue ball, again, is absolutely immaculate. He's got a problem coming up of what he's going to do with the 4 reds, because they're not on at this stage.
'81.
Now, this is the first difficult shot of the break. I know what he played there. He had to try and develop reds. He's going all around the houses to keep the break going. This will be a good shot. Wow, look at this. This is an absolutely beautiful shot.
And now, Neil, what an opportunity. What a chance. And I'll tell you what, the frame is out of the question now. It's going to ding. And so Mark Davis will be hoping against hope that Ding makes the 147 here.
Well, he's not the only one. There's a lot of people who feel like that. That is not his best shot. That's annoying. He wanted to be higher on this. He's got to disturb the other red now, which he didn't really want to do. Well, I'm bewildered by that.
He's forgotten. He didn't realise.
I find that bewildering.
When he heard the crowd groan, he realised what he'd done. Unbelievable.
I can't believe what I've seen.
Oh, no.
He could have played the other red. I mean, well, everyone, even Marco Fu there in the practice room was... It's one of those moments that stops the Crucible. Everyone's having a look. Now, oh, goodness me, surely he can't knock this in now after that last shot. Yeah.
A moment that will go viral. Ding Junhui didn't realise he was on a maximum break. Something new happens every day at the World Championship.
Thank you. Frame 23, Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Well, he sent the red over the pocket. He got a very good cue ball, but perfect cue ball, but the red's over the pocket. The black's not available. The pink's tied up. This is not straightforward to get onto a colour here. Oh, what a kiss on the red he's had there. He played it very well. He played it with a lot of pace to avoid camming into the reds. But a favourable kiss on the red, as you can see here. It sort of swerved the way he played that. What a test of character for Ding Junhui here after what happened in that previous frame.
8. Nine.
Just put a little quick one in there. Hasn't got the cue ball out on the black. Well, he managed to cut the black back in, but I don't think he's dropped on a red.
16. Ding Junhui, 16. Yeah.
It's a tough shot Roy O'Sullivan's faced with here. Tough situation. Of course, every mistake could be his last. It's pretty good. It's very good, in fact. Excellent shot.
As he flipped the snooker, a bit of a smile from Ronnie. Can he just get past the brown, blue and pink to flicker red? Maybe not. No. That's the player's view. So he's going to have to just nestle into the back of the bunch here off 2 cushions. This should keep everything safe. Well, I say keep everything safe. Does this red cut in? It maybe does, and it's going to open the reds up. And it's there, and he scattered everything all over the table, and he's on the blue. Another terrific chance for the Chinese player. Almost got into the semi-final in the last frame. Can he do it this time?
Yeah, he's just got to really concentrate, just one shot at a time.
6. 7.
Well, already he's putting a little careless one. He may have to just cannon into the 3 reds that are together. If only just to stop the pace of the cue ball. Well, that's worked out okay. That's worked out perfect. He can play for the black, pink or black here. What a chance. It looked a harmless enough shot, didn't it, Dennis, when Ronnie was playing into the back of the bunch?
Yeah, it was Ding Junhui's safety shot that left Ronnie in an awkward spot. He just flicked off a colour and got in behind the brown. Didn't matter what side of the blue he got to there. Yeah, but like you, Stephen, I thought Ronnie coming off 2 cushions would have left everything safe.
25.
But he picked one out, did Ding Junhui.
Yeah, I don't think he played to be as close to the yellow as that in his last shot. He's just tightening up a little bit, Ding Junhui. Understandable after what happened in the last frame. This is not the blue he wanted to play. Safely in. See if he doesn't win it from here.
41.
Can he win the match?
$32.
No, he's got to win it from here. He was a little unlucky in the previous frame when he was on 63 and knocked a red over a pocket, but it
47.
finished just a little awkward.
38.
There's nothing that can really go wrong because the reds are there for him. The pink's in the open, the black's available. He's not that many more pots away.
This is a very important victory in Ding Junhui's career.
45.
I have to admit, I didn't think he could beat Ronnie O'Sullivan over 3 sessions. He's got the game, but I didn't know whether he's mentally up for it. But he's shown fantastic character
46.
today, especially after what happened in the last frame. To come straight back out and win this in one visit. Very impressive.
There you see it, 68 ahead with 67 remaining.
52.
Ronnie give it his best shot here. He made the highest break in
53.
this year's World Championship, magnificent 146, but he has been a big help to Ding Junhui in the past. And as I mentioned previously, it's 10 years since Ding Junhui has beaten Ronnie, but this,
60.
without doubt, even all the titles he's
61.
won, this will go down as one of his best matches ever, you would have to say.
And what a great feeling it is when you're clearing up and then knowing that you're going to be playing in that one table situation now at the Crucible. I used to love this part when you're
68.
clearing up in a quarter-final, just to know that you're through to that
69.
stage.
Yes, it's hard to describe to people how you're feeling inside, but you're absolutely delighted. And could he possibly
76.
clinch it with a century break?
Thank you. 77.
He's had 8 centuries so far, more than any other player. This would be the 60th
84.
if he goes on to make it.
85.
All about the green, you'd have to say. Showing terrific character here, this Ding Junhui. He really is.
90.
Nicely on the green.
92. 95.
Can he get up to the blue? He certainly can.
99.
Absolutely fantastic from this Chinese sensation. He's won this most important match in style.
110.
And Ronnie will come forward and have a little chat with him and wish him all the best for the semi-final. It's been a cracking match all round, some brilliant breaks. Ronnie smiles and gives Ding a nice pat there. That is lovely to see. Well done to the two players for giving us a fantastic match. But Ding is a little bit emotional there, but he's beaten his idol, who he hadn't beaten for 10 years, and he did it in style with that magnificent century break. Well done to both players, but congratulations to Ding Junhui. You beat your idol, and you're through to the semi-final by 13 frames to 10.